according to one bird expert. A First Coast News viewer contacted us with concerns about dead birds that she's been finding near her home. She also contacted a bird rescue program here on the First Coast. Jessica Clark goes to the area where the birds have been found dead or nearly dying to see what's going on.
It's a killer river.
Cindy Mosling runs the Beeks Bird Rescue. Last week, she was notified about dead or struggling birds along the St. Johns River, stretching from downtown Jacksonville to Huguenot Park and down the beaches.
And one woman who lives just off Heckscher Drive, very close to the Fort George Inlet, has in the last 2 weeks found 10 birds, some of them dead, some of them nearly dead.
That woman, like others who have found dead birds, have contacted Mosling. Mosling has rescued birds for decades in North Florida. She says pollutants in the river and nearby waterways have killed birds for decades. She has water samples from years ago that still look foamy when you shake them.
If you take one of these jars and put a healthy feather into it, it takes a natural water covering up the bird. It's like birds' feathers are like a wetsuit. They're waxed. They have a coating that protects them from, they don't get wet. And when they get this on them, they lose that protective coating and they sink. They can't hunt. They die of hypothermia.
Mosling says pollutants are responsible for this latest bird die-off of at least 30 birds, and all of them have similar symptoms, she says.
And their motor skills are taken away. They're followed like little drunk soldiers. You know, just falling over.
Mosling says the government has to take more action.
Stop the source of pollution. You know, the St. Johns River is not a sewer. It's not a cheap way to get rid of whatever you don't want, and that's what's happening.
Florida Fish and Wildlife officials told us officers learned of several dead laughing gulls Tuesday. An officer and a bird biologist have been called in to investigate. FWC does not know why the birds have died. After 30 years of rescuing birds and seeing die-offs like this over and over again, Mosling is emotional.
It's frustrating when you see things. It's like you have sick children, you keep getting sick and keep getting sick, and no one will do anything about it.
But she keeps rescuing.
I know. But somebody, you know, somebody needs to do something somehow, some way. It's not right. This is not right to keep suffering.
On the north side, Jessica Clark, First Coast News.
Yeah.